taking a break. Got a play I've been working on. Sorry for the sporadic lives. Um, Speaking of sporadic lives, I mean, kind of getting into the subject matter of today. It was another school shooting. Children. It was a bunch of kids were killed in Texas, and this is right after the school I go to. I got a notification that there was like a shutdown. It was like a lockdown of the school last week because, and I found out when I went back to school because it happened when there was no class for me because I don't have class on Friday. Um, I found out that we had the lockdown because there was someone walking around campus with a gun. A few days later, it was a school shooting at elementary, and it was like a few days before there was another school shooting. We get a lot of mass shootings out here, and I'm just gonna come out and speculate on why that is. Maybe it has something to do with our government avoiding helping the homeless or giving us health care, instead spending billions of dollars to give to the Nazis in the Ukraine so they can slaughter more people. So it's just like your government, when your government kills people. Big surprise, you have like a few maniacs who decide to fund themselves with weapons. I mean, there's speculation. I didn't really do too much research on it. But the person who did the shooting, he had like this $5,000 gun. He was a poor SOB. Just like, how did he acquire it? I mean, I would say he robbed someone for the gun, but it would require a bigger gun than that to do that. I don't know, but we're just not going to go down too deep down that rabbit hole because that'll probably be the next thing being censored on Instagram and Facebook or YouTube. But it's just kind of terrifying, because like I said, I mean, it's not just abstract for me because it was someone with a gun on the campus of the school I go to. So, will we stop the school shootings? Hopefully, but I think that would require us getting away from funding the most deplorable of human nature, war, mass murdering. When the government kills people, it's okay. No, it's just like, it's hard not to pick up on that. But it was, it's just kind of ridiculous how, people can't see the parallels. But anyways, because I've been like pretty stoked. I mean, I've been like, going back to school. It allowed me to get back into the theater and stuff like that. And then just like, hearing about all the fuckery going on, it's pretty ridiculous. I mean, because I was in school when Columbine happened. It was like an old school shooting. One of the OG school shootings. Because I remember it was like these kids who used to get picked on all the time. After Columbine, if you weren't around, the shooters were members of something called the Trench Coat Mafia, and they used to wear trench coats and they had like their own like murderous swag. But after the Columbine shooting, the kids who were getting picked on in my school started dressing in trench coats and being imitating the Trench Coat Mafia. They never shot up the school, but that's because everybody at my school stopped fucking with them. It was like that. It was just off limits because like when they were describing the kids, they were like, oh, like they were being bullied and they were going after they were targeting their bullies. So it's just like it just made people mind their behavior, but it also glorified mass murderers. So it's just like the way we cover school shootings in America. Was a psychologist I was watching talk about it, or just shootings in general. It incentivizes more shooters because they don't talk about the victims. It more so just idolizes the shooters and turns them into celebrities. And everybody has access to guns. I remember my dad had a gun. I found it when I was rifling through his shit. But you know, I never had the intention of using it. You know, I was always kind of like not one who didn't fuck with guns. To this day, I never fired a real gun because I think that's kind of coward shit. Um, Worst thing you can do is kill someone because you know they can never grow, even if someone's being an asshole. False flag operation used to disarm people. I can see that because because they had police outside of the school for hours not doing shit, and yeah, it just reeked of false flag from what I've the preliminary information I got so far. And wouldn't be the first false flag in America. That's kind of, you know, and like we have mass shootings regularly, and it's just like they choose to hyper focus on all of these recent shootings. It seems like they're building a narrative. I was just talking about that to my girl, and this, you know, I'm weary. You know, anytime the news media is getting us on you know, focused on something, hyper focused on something, it's because like, you know, the corporations that own them are making out the back with all the money. So yeah, definitely. You guys are fucking sick. Kids fucking died. Yeah, that's the problem. Kids die. Yeah, that's yeah. I don't know how I'm sick or who are you saying is sick? The shooter? Because it's pretty sickening. And like I said, it's close to home because there was someone with a gun on my campus. So yeah, it's concerning. It definitely is. We need to address underlying issues that uh, have America with so many fucking mass shootings. Where just like, I mean, because these are the few recent shootings that they're focusing on are just a drop in the bucket compared to all of the mass shootings that we have regularly. Yeah, so definitely not a fan of the shooting. I think I even want to know the shooter's name. I don't want to like just uh, have an idea what to call them because I don't think they should be in anyone's brain cells. Nobody should memorize these motherfuckers. I mean, and the news shouldn't go about handling school shootings the way they do because, like I said, they incentivize more shooters. Uh, I don't even drink shots. That's how opposed to shooting I am. You know, so um, it's just a lifestyle choice. You know, I'm one of those people. I'm just not the biggest fan of guns. My birthday's time. Fancy stuff. Yeah, so it's just uh, um, I really don't know who you were addressing that to. You guys are sick. The comment, but I'll also, I think I mentioned it in the previous live. If you're going to be in the Seattle area, do have a matter of fact. I feel like with all the school shootings, maybe I shouldn't be giving out my information because, you know, it could be like a Google employee, someone who's been censoring me or something. They just find me and, you know, pay another shooter or something. I don't know. But my whole thing is nothing but love. That's why in my videos would be good to each other because I don't want shootings. And I don't want an evil government that funds Nazis either. You know, that's just the way I roll. You know, my government, the government I was born in doesn't represent me. I don't really view myself as an American because Americans have free speech. I had 4 YouTube channels taken down. Google funded by my tax dollars, your tax dollars. So it's just like it's just I'm not feeling very American. Uh, Government definitely doesn't represent me when they take billions in tax dollars and give it to Nazis. You know, 'cause I was raised to think Nazis were bad, but you know, we just clearly have Nazis deeply embedded in our government. But that being said, I've been getting caught up on. I got music classes because I got two classes. I got theater, like an acting class, and music. And I recently got software to make beats. So I was like, I'm hella late on turning in a lot of my stuff in my music class because it's an online class. So it's like easy to forget. But I turned in one of the beats that I worked on. The first one I finished on Logic Pro. And also, I've been looking for copyright free stuff, like truly copyright free stuff. Because I found copyright free music. I posted it on different online things, like the shitty YouTube site. All those videos are gone. But when they were still up, the money that was the revenue made ended up going to the people who made the beat. And when I saw copyright, because I found it via a copyright free website, and I didn't realize that that's how it was done. So I just ended up taking this class, figuring out how to make my own shit. So that wouldn't happen again. So I'm just gonna play this in the background. But it was like I was pretty excited about it. I like it's easy to dance to. I like the bass line. Anyways. Ukrainians are only Nazis if you believe Putin. Are you a Putin apologist? What? Ukrainians have been Nazis. I've been saying that since before this whole altercation, because it's blaringly obvious. The only two countries in the United Nations to not condemn Nazism since 2014, U.S. and the Ukraine, because both governments are infiltrated by Nazis. So it's like we have Nazis. If you're unfamiliar with Operation Paperclip, that's when U.S. took the top talent from the Nazis in Germany and gave them high-paying government jobs. And this was like back in the 40s, right? Do you think we got the Nazis out of our government? Do you feel like, I mean, one of the things Nazis love to do, silence dissent, right? So, I mean, they silence it violently. Check, our government does that. Even the states that say they don't have death penalty on the books, like the cops go out and just kill unarmed people for no good reason, right? You look at COINTELPRO, kill Fred Hampton, kill Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, right? And if they don't kill you, they can lock you up, have you doing forced labor. That's another telltale sign of Nazis, right? And nowadays it's just like, we have platforms run by the government, like Google, heavily connected with the government. They were started with your tax dollars, right? They're silencing all dissent. Like I said, 4 channels taken down. What happened to the free speech? It's not a private company when they take billions of dollars in tax money, right? Yeah, definitely Nazis in the U.S., right? And then we had a coup. The U.S. Heavily funded a coup in Ukraine back in 2014, and we've been interfering with other countries for even longer. And do you think Nazi government like the U.S., do you think they're gonna put in like a bunch of socialists? You think they're gonna be putting in people who care about human rights when we are a permanent war state? No. And it's just like you look at the people who are supposed to be running the country, right? We got a crackhead. We got a president who raised one son who died in a war that he was all about. He's continuing that kind of war all throughout the world. And then his son who didn't die, he's a drug addict, right? And it's all kinds of uh, stories about how he was molesting his daughter, right? He failed as a parent hard, right? But yet he's going to be like in charge of a nation, and he's like already showing signs of dementia. It's just like, yeah, it's just, yeah, we're the government's a joke. Evil motherfuckers. I wouldn't even say white supremacists, because I mean, even though Joe Biden did say that he didn't want his when speaking about integrating schools, he said he didn't want his kids to be raised in a jungle. I don't think he's a white supremacist. I think he's a corporate supremacist. But like, yeah, he doesn't care about the sanctity of human life. He's like just a demented old man. Going to crack parties with his son. That's where his son is picking up his drug addict tendencies, and just, yeah, it's not Russian propaganda. I mean, the overwhelming majority of Americans would rather see Joe Biden step down as president before Putin. Putin is not your problem. If you're in America, the American government is your problem, right? The fact that they'll spend billions of dollars to fund Nazis, like just open Nazis. The same news organizations that are rah Ukraine just a few months ago, before this military snafu, they were saying that Ukraine had Nazis. Then they turned the story around because they started getting funding from some of the most nefarious people. Why I left Android for iPhone 6. Yes, that's a very old video. That's probably my most popular video on my remaining channel. Well, I was thinking of doing like I think I have to do a review on this because I got like a sponsorship. But yeah, I'm gonna do some more tech stuff because it's funny. Before I lost all the channels, I was trying to move all of my sponsorships to my tech channel because it made more sense there, instead of me talking about products on the stuff I normally give social commentary on. But yeah, now I got no choice. So I'm definitely going to be bringing some sponsorship stuff over here or more reviews. But yeah, employee evaluation was brilliant. And employee evaluations, new ones, you got to go to rumble.com/NatesVlogs, odyssey.com/@NatesVlogs, and of course natesvlogs.net, my website. But yeah, those are it's just not going to happen on the current streaming. I mean, I'm streaming on Rumble too, but yeah, I might post like clips on Instagram, or I haven't even posted a clip on my YouTube yet, on the remaining YouTube. But yeah, the places that censor me aren't going to be getting any of that kind of content. So yeah, if you want to see employee evaluations, new ones are out, and I also got a new series. So check that out. And the new series is going to be harder to tell as me because it's not going to be really my face in it. Because I've been feeling incredibly targeted by all of the big social media algorithms. So it's like people kept telling me get a TikTok, you gotta do it. Felt ridiculous, because it was 1 minute videos when I first heard about it, and it's hard to put a message in there in 1 minute. Then it went up to 3. Now I think they're up to 10. But I started when they were doing 3 minutes, and yeah, and I had a bunch of stuff censored. So it's like it's just hard for me to build enthusiasm on censoring websites. So employee evaluations, you definitely just got to go elsewhere. So it's not going to be on Instagram. This is more like live stuff for me to let you guys know I got other stuff going on. So right now I'm working on a play. It's going to be starting June 2nd. That's like the first run. And then I got another play coming in August. And it was offer for a little extra part in a show on HBO, which I was like, I felt weird about because HBO, their parent company is AT&T. AT&T was the reason why Full Screen went to shit. So they were asking me to audition for a show on there, and I was thinking if I do it, I definitely gotta put in a different name because they probably got me on the list. So I was like playing with different nom de plumes, different go bys and so on. So yeah, because it's yeah, it's just it's weird times. I mean, you know, HBO is I they definitely would not uh, be copacetic with my views on AT&T. I mean, but then I guess all of the fuck full screen stuff, it was taken off of YouTube. There's no evidence that it existed currently, but it just kind of pisses me off even more about the whole company. But I'm not gonna get all up in that, lost in the weeds. But yeah, and it just it kind of just really cheeses me off that people if you live in America, like you could really think anybody like the leader of another country is your fucking problem. You just watch too much news. It is not Putin. Like we have been uh, a perpetual war state for my entire life, right? We got like 20 years in the Middle East, uh, and then like we switch it up, like we're like, oh, we're ending the war in Afghanistan, right? Then we get like a military budget even higher than the year before. And it's like, okay, if we're ending war, why would we get more money? And it's because they have plans. Like this whole shit is orchestrated, and it's not Putin's doing, right? It's the U.S. It's they're going to be killing the economy, killing off the U.S. the petrodollar. So you're going to see hyperinflation as that happens, and it's not because of Putin. It's because we got a crackhead in office. We got a crack addicted, sexually assaulting, demented, and he's not. I'm saying all this stuff. He's not even running this shit, but I'm just saying he's the figurehead, and he has no shame. He's not like someone like JFK who was actually pushing back on the CIA. Uh, he's like just full throttle, hit the gas on all of the worst decisions that our government can make. So it's not Putin, and that's not me saying Putin's a good guy. I mean, I think even the worst of the worst people, you should never censor them, right? And that's kind of what we're doing. Like you have U.S. officials walking out on Russian diplomats as they're speaking. Like we shouldn't listen to them. Just put your hands in your ears and just push the red button. Let's have nuclear war as opposed to conversation. And I'm talking about like people who were supposed to be the good guys. Like Bernie Sanders is for all of the fucked up foreign policy decisions that have been going on. So yeah, you don't have to be pro Putin to just say that our government is extremely fucked up, and yeah, and they're a big part of the reason why we're having all these shootings, because like the people who run the shit, when they're that violent, when their whole thing is let's go kill people in mass, of course you're gonna have like a few citizens like, okay, I'm an American, I have all these guns, I need to start killing people in mass too. If the president would do it, what if they're just like, what if I just imagine all of the school shooters and just mass shooters in general. They got like pictures of George Bush and um, Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, and Joe Biden, and they're just like, what would the president do? and then that's when they pick up their gun and just go kill people in high numbers, because that's what our presidents do. And then they become like leaders of the free world. They're able to tell you what you have to put in your body. They're able to just have free range, go to Jeffrey Epstein's island, get away with it, you know, and then once he gets arrested, before he can roll over on him, you have him assassinated. It's just common sense. But yeah, please don't do that. I just not a fan of being called a Putin apologist. For me, it's common sense, and I say that. I mean, shit. Before, if it wasn't Putin, I mean, I remember, you know, because I was against the Iraq War too. So it's just like I started just questioning. Okay, you know, like these hijackers, you know, most of them from Saudi Arabia, got nothing to do with Saddam Hussein. I'm just like, so we're going to go into this country that had nothing to do with it because, you know, they're just brown. So it's just easy. Oh, they're brown. We can't understand them. Or their language sounds like, acham, acham. So it's just like, let's go in there and kill them. They're bad people. And it's just like, yeah, we're run by bad people. Bush comes from a long lineage of Nazis and Nazi collaborators. You know, Prescott Bush helped the rise of Hitler, right? George Bush Sr. was the head of the CIA, the organization that brought in all those Nazis from Operation Paperclip, right? And yeah, we're just supposed to trust these Bush characters, even though like they're extremely sinister. It really didn't make much sense to me. But when I started to question it, like in the lead up to Iraq War, it was, you know, people just like, oh, you must love Saddam Hussein. Why don't you go fuck him? The bath party. Why don't you go take a bath with him? I don't know. It just really didn't make sense to me back then, and I see like a lot of the familiar earmarks of the same propaganda penetrating just, you know, current brains, and I'd rather we get beyond that so we can go after the real enemy. Yeah, and I like to be able to just point out common sense shit. Our government has been infiltrated by Nazis, and they're propping up other Nazis around the world. And you know, and Ukraine is not the first. You know, like we fund death squads throughout South America, fund death squads throughout the world, and yeah, and the people have never been held accountable. I'd like them to be held accountable. If we want to go after the real terrorists, we got to start with home, domestically. It's not Putin. Hey, kill Snake Man. How goes it? It's good seeing you. Yeah, it's it's a mixed bag with the people. I was already called a Putin apologist, so it's just I don't know how to feel about that. Anyways, I did have like some more beats to make. I was just I wanted to take a break because I thought it was pretty crazy. You know, you speaking facts. Well, I do what I can. Cause I mean, shit. You know, they're directly affected by the shit. I don't know if you were here, but I narrowly escaped a school shooting myself. My school got shut down because there was someone walking around with a big gun exposed. So they just locked the whole school down. They were looking like they were going to do a school shooting, and but I didn't have any class, and to my knowledge, nobody was shot. But it's just an epidemic, and yeah, I just think it has something to do with the evil government giving all the worst views, and plus like they're silencing voices of dissent like my own. So people just start to think like, oh shit, because one of the mass shooters, he had like a bunch of the Nazi insignia from the Ukraine, the Ukraine uniforms. So it's uh, uh, yeah. I would like us to focus all of our anger, all that shit. If you're in America, you think Putin is the bad guy. Just be like, no, it's not Putin. It's my government. It's the media that give the government's talking points, and it's just like let's focus our anger at them. That would be more effective than like going out and wearing a blue and yellow flag or whatever the fuck, uh, saying that condemning Putin when you don't pay Putin's taxes. Your taxes are being taken from you, and they're not helping your homeless population. They're not giving you health care. It's just like funding the most atrocious people in the world, and it starts at home. Starts by funding the war criminals who oversee your taxes and who steal from you. So that's just I just want to get that across. Uh, uh, Maybe I've just been going too long. That's why I'm getting the Putin apologist comments. But yeah, it's just you guys gotta get it together. I'm not saying you kill Snake Man. I'm just saying the young lady who called me a Putin apologist, or anyone who has similar sentiments. Uh, it's just I don't want to say you lost because I'm trying to find you. That's what I'm here for. And I was working on some stuff for my music class. It kind of gets into that. I mean, the songs is it addresses some of the stuff. So I have that on my website, NatesVlogs.net. And yeah, so yeah, I just wanted to give you guys an update. New employee evaluations are going to be over there, and yeah, and I haven't really. Well, I have a channel, a different channel for my new content on because I'm gonna figure out a way to get some of the stuff on TikTok and such. It's gonna be under 10 minutes, but I haven't figured out the name of the series yet. I'm still figuring that out, and I'm still working on the intro because it's gonna be it's news based, so it's gonna be like the channel is News Puppets, and but it's gonna be like different series because I have like within that frame. I have like different series that and different puppets that are gonna be covering different stuff. So it's like I know it'll make sense when I start posting it. So I already got some of the stuff shot. I got a lot more of it written. I'm waiting for different characters to show up because I have to order them. But yeah, yeah, just stay woke. Don't trust anything that you hear on CNN or anything that they're trying to get you all riled up to hate all the wrong people. Do not. It's your government. It's the people who are like stealing your money and giving it to Nazis. Those are the people you need to hate. And I'm not even gonna say hate. You gotta love them hard enough to have a revolution. Show them that we can build a better world, and hold them accountable. Because I mean, you just gotta think. You go to so many Epstein parties, you get away with it. Like, how out of hand would you be? You look at someone like Hunter Biden, like his crack addiction is out of hand, out of control, right? He's collaborating with Nazis because there's no checks and balances. So we need to just lock up all the right people. A lot of the international war criminals, sometimes we gotta send them to the countries that they ravished and let them decide what to do. And that's how we build better relations with these countries. A lot of countries don't want to fuck with us. You go into Iraq or Afghanistan, one of the countries that we fucked over because we spent years killing the people and terrorizing them. They'll kill you just because you're American. It's not because like like they hate your freedom. It's because they hate the fact that you spent all your tax monies killing them and their family, right? So it's just like we want to build relations with those people. Let's just send our war criminals there, and they'll have their courts decide what to do with George Bush and Dick Cheney and Joe Biden and Barack Obama. Like, you guys can figure out. Like, we realize that they bombed you with so many drone bombs that they ran out, right? So you figure out what to do with them, and you know, and we'll give you the CIA, that all of the top people at the CIA, all the propagandists. You figure out what to do with them, you know. Let your justice system figure it out, right? And that'll be a way of building a bridge. At least that's the way I see it. Because I mean, we definitely got to build more international community, because we don't really make shit here, and our dollar is about to go to shit. So yeah, if we want people to continue sending us stuff, because you know, you got to think China, we're trying to provoke war with them now. If we want them to continue sending us all these goods while we send them worthless paper, right? We have to do better. So we have to incentivize them to want to collaborate with us. So I think that requires turning over war criminals. I'm not going to be sad to see them go. You know, if I found out Russia and China came together and kidnapped George Bush and Dick Cheney, all the evil motherfuckers who were robbing us, allowed millions of people to go homeless as the banks stole their homes, you know, and then bailed out the banks and let the banks keep the houses, right? If I found out they kidnapped all those villains, I'm not gonna pick up a gun and go to war with them. It's just like, you guys can have them, you figure out what to do with them, and I'm interested to see how it goes down. At least that's just my personal feelings. But yeah, I do have some stuff to turn in. I just wanted to have a quick tap in with you guys, and yeah, and if you want to see the edited content, employee evaluations, rewinds, all the new stuff, and I started uploading some of the older stuff to the NatesVlogs.net and Rumble.com. I have my biggest back catalog on Odyssey.com. I'm NatesVlogs over all those places, including NatesVlogs.net. If you want to see all the edited content, feel free to check them out. And yeah, I'll tie back in with you. And as soon as I'm done with this song and my next song, it's gonna be on my website, and I'm gonna be giving it out to my Patreon followers. Hope you are well. Well, yeah, I'm good. I avoided a school shooting, and I got an upcoming play, several, and more to come. And yeah, one of the plays, I mean, one of the scenes in the upcoming play, I got to write. So I figured that's my next move. I mean, because acting is fun, but I mean, I have more fun writing. So I mean, YouTube allowed me to get paid for some of my writings and stuff like that. But you know, it's a rough go at it now, since you know, 4 channels got taken down, and yeah, you know, the more I speak my mind on the stuff they don't want me to talk about, the more I get censored. So I'm just focusing on in-person entertainment. So yeah, so if you're in the Seattle area for now, I got several upcoming plays next month. Beginning of next month, June 2nd is the first run of the next play, and then I got something else in August. And I didn't write that one, but I'm going to be working on a bigger production, a bigger theater production company, and I'm going to learn how to get into the writing for the bigger production, because yeah, it's more money, because they have like unionized actors and just a bigger pot to pull from. So that's going to be it. Comedic or dramatic role for the play? Well, it's two different roles. Um, Mostly dramatic. Some comedic tones, but it's like uh, both of the characters I play are in relationships that are kind of falling apart, and well, one of the roles is it's supposed to be like one of the scenes is supposed to end with me like raising my hand like I'm about to hit her, but my teacher didn't want to add that part, so we had to mix it up a little bit. Hold on. Oh crap. Still streaming. I had an alarm go off. So it's just a mix. But the play I wrote, it's comedic, but I'm not gonna be acting in it. It's comedic, and it's just like it's timely. I wrote it a few years ago for a different class, different. It was supposed to be for digital media for film class, but yeah, my teacher liked it. She had me make a few edits to it, um, so we can make it into a play, and yeah, and then I started like writing something else. It's kind of like well, it kind of follows my dad. Like he's the main character, and it's like telling some of the stories of growing up and kind of unearthing some of the shit that he went through, and just kind of um, because a lot of it it touches tones with stuff going on now, because we had this whole fiasco. My dad went to he had a bunch of he was working for a naval base, got his hand crushed. Naval base was pumping them full of all kinds of carcinogens, toxic metals. So they ended up having to shut down. And then, like, my dad had a bunch of investment properties, and he went to someone to help him reconsolidate his debt. And the dude who he went to ended up fucking him over and getting the houses from him. So, if you know anyone who lost their house in the 2007, 2008 era, um, yeah, it's just kind of like similar. I mean, and it's kind of happening again. Yeah, that's when my dad lost his last house. But anyways, it's gonna be. It's not hyper focused on that. It's more like some of the familial relationships, and well, yeah, I'm just gonna let that as I get closer to releasing that, because I gotta finish it up. I got like a family function. I want to talk to some family, get their perspectives on it, because I don't want to just like write it and then make it feel like they look bad in it. I want to get their insights on certain subjects before I fully flesh out the ideas. I just knew I wanted to do something on that, and it's gonna be more comedic because I don't know if you watched my NatesVlogs channel from the beginning. I mean, a good amount of the early videos were me just telling stories about my family, my dad, and some of the wacky stuff that went on there. So it's gonna be like kind of touching similar stories, but it's just I would just go into yes, the comedic part, but also some of the fucked up shit that I refrained from mentioning because I didn't want people in my family to see it and be like, "Why did you mention that?" But I was also trying to figure out how to, because yeah, I want to cover it, but I want it to be in a state where my family could also see it, and not be too salty. I was gonna mention a lot of the fucked up shit I did too to make my dad's life worse. That's why I figured he'd be the best person to make the main character. But yeah, that's just that'll be after the play I got coming out in August that I didn't write. But hopefully, I can get it on a bigger production company, like because it's gonna be the play is gonna be at the Seattle Children's Theater, which is like a big production. It was kind of scary to hear about it. because when I was in high school, I got my teacher, after I did one play, my teacher was saying I should go out and audition for this uh, other production. It was outside of school. And I went there thinking it was going to be other people my age. I was like 15, 16, right? But I felt grown. But when I got to the play, it was like nothing but like little kids. And I was like, man, it's nothing but kids. You know, because it was a children's theater production of like a Shakespeare play. But, you know, and then I got older, you know, because I felt like an adult. And I'm like, I don't want to be auditioning with these kids. So I ended up skating out. But then as an adult, if I would have went to that same production and I saw like high school kids, uh, even if it was nothing but high school kids, I'd be like, this is nothing but kids. And I would have walked away because, you know, they're kids. And that's kind of what when I heard children's theater, I thought it would be kind of like a similar thing, but it's like a more big time thing. And my girl was like telling me stories about that kind of shit. And then we got there, and well, I didn't see the actual theater. I saw where they auditioned, but it definitely felt more big time. Sounds amazing. Break a leg. Love your content. Well, I love your love, and I appreciate that. Fan since 2013. You said your dad would sound super racist because his southern accent. Well, yeah, he was a country Bama, but you know, but nothing but love. I mean, if he rarely dropped the N bomb on you, but when he said it, it did feel racist. God damn. All right, but yeah, I appreciate the love and the conversation, and once again. You want to see the new employee evaluations, rewinds, and the new series that's going to be out shortly. Check out nateflix.net, rumble.com/nateflix, and odyssey.com/@nateflix. Odyssey, I'm going to start live streaming on there too. It's going to replace YouTube or because I got 3 devices I'm streaming on. So it's going to replace either YouTube or Instagram. And they also have my largest back catalog of videos because they automatically backed up the videos I posted on YouTube. So when YouTube went down, those videos stayed up. So I'm grateful for that. So and I'm appreciative for you guys showing up. And remember to be good to each other. Focus all your energy, all your hatred. Don't center it towards people in other countries responding to U.S. aggression. Your real enemy is the people who are stealing your money and funding Nazis. That's not a Putin puppet talking point. It's just real. It's just factual. So be good to each other. Peace. Let me see.